So we are live at, hold on, what the heck happened there? Whoa. We are live at one moment here. We are live at PNC Park, and I don't know why this looks like the way it does. It's messing with me. Maybe I need to go to desktop. Alright. Angels Pirates here. Sorry for the short delay. I was looking for my chat window and I didn't know where it went. And it was because I had reset some things so I would be able to come up with the most up-to-date stats. So this is Tenacious Baseball League version 2.0, the 2016 set. Angels at 5-10, a rough start for them, but kind of an expected start, I would say. They were not particularly good in 2016. Pirates ahead of schedule, we will say. Yes, Larry, you are looking live at PNC Park. Not really. I don't have any visual interpretation of it here, but the Pirates are ahead of schedule. They did not finish with a record well above 500, and yet they are 10-5 now, so we will see who gets the better of this matchup, at least today. It may be Pittsburgh, because the Angels have to go with a spot starter. They're going to go with Andrew Heaney, as they came around to Nick Tropiano's spot, and he is injured. So for the Pirates, they will have Francisco Liriano on the mound. And we'll get going here. For the Angels, Escobar leads off at third base, Simmons at short, Crone at first, Trout center field, Calhoun in right, Bandy catching, Gentry left field, Pennington second base, and Heaney pitching. A right-handed lineup for both teams, mostly, just because lefty's on the mound. So I'm going to have to remember that and keep in mind I want to look at the left-handed side of the batter's card predominantly here in this game. So average day here at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Western PA. 11s for singles, 9 for a left-handed home run. And these are ballpark checks, remind you. 9 for a left-handed ballpark check, 3 for a right-handed batter ballpark check home run. Escobar leads off against Liriano, and I already have dice missing. 4-6. Against a righty, strikes him out. Brings up Andrelton Simmons. And a 5-3 against a righty, fly ball to left field X. Left fielder is Starling Marte, a good fielder. Let's see what happens. Well, we'll have to check it to be sure. He'll be able to get to it for sure. It's just a matter of whether he gets an error on a 7 on an E5. And he makes the play for out number 2. And that brings up C.J. Crone. Against a righty, 6-7. That'll be a 2-out walk. And that brings up Mike Trout. Another 6-7, another walk against a righty. And so that'll bring up lefty Cole Calhoun with 2 outs. And a 1 on the D20 means a potential wild pitch. Liriano, a 14. 1-14. And it's a 10. That will be a wild pitch. Uncorked by Liriano. So let's re-roll it here. Second and third, 2 outs. 4-3 against a lefty, fly ball to right field X. Right fielder Sean Rodriguez, 3-10. Will they get out of the inning? 3 and a 4. Uh-oh. That will be a single, 2-base advance. 2 runs batted in for Calhoun. And a 9. Yeah, that'll be no error. But 2 runs across for the Angels here so far, and they still have more coming to the plate. Jet Bandy. 5 on the D20. 1-6 against a lefty. 1-6 fly ball to center. That'll be caught by McCutchen. And they are out of the inning, but 2 runs across. Okay, so we're going to... You probably won't be able to see this computer-generated pitcher's card so well, but I'll do my best here. Again, Heaney only had a couple starts in the season. We're going from somebody who started in the early going, and so he was a pitcher who did. So I think you can still see Pittsburgh's, so I'm not going to be doing a lot of moving of this today. Somehow I figured out how to get this set up where this is in view. And I got to move these things out of the way so I don't. So here we go. Harrison at second leads off. Rodriguez in right. Marte left. McCutchen center. Freeze third base. Cervelli catching. Morse at first base. This will be his only start of the season, as he will reach his at-bat limit with this. I've been trying to figure out a place to get him through the lineup, and against a lefty here in Heaney, they will go with it. Mercer shortstop and Liriano pitching. So here we go. Harrison leads off 5-3 against a right-hander fly ball to left. Left fielder is Gentry, 2E16. Not a very good, not very sure-handed outfielder. 2, he gets to it, and then 12 on the E16. That's going to be a 2-base error. So E7. So automatically Heaney gets into some trouble here based on his defense's lapses. 3-10 against a lefty. Grounder to second base. It'll move the runner up. 1 out. Starling Marte. 1-7. That will be a single, and that will score a run. So, and with 1 out, Marte will try to get a lead here. Heaney is a -1 hold. Bandy is 0 arm, so favorable matchup here for. And that's a 6. So yes, Marte can take a lead. Gets a good lead, so you subtract 2 and then subtract another 1. 1-16 chance that he will steal, and it's leaning. And he gets the stolen base and a chance at a throwing error. Another 1-3 roll would do that, and instead it's a 12. So, but Marte, the tying run at second with 1 out. McCutchen, there's a 5-4 with a 1 on the D20. Wild pitch. Well, Heaney does not have a wild pitch rating, so we re-roll the D6s. 4-7 righty. That is going to score another run. 1-4 double. It's a 12 again. That'll be a single for McCutchen, and the run comes home. Pirates tie it up. 2 runs for each team here in the first, and Freeze coming up to bat. Wait. Yeah, I forgot to flip the card, but it was off the pitcher card, so. And McCutchen was also a righty. Freeze. McCutchen at first. They're holding him on. And I'm going to go ahead and swing away. 6-12 with a leaner. Just barely leaning on it there. That was a 6-12. I don't want to honor that, the other thing, because it moved it. We already had the roll. Grounded to pitcher. So he's a 3E0. Could be a double play ball. And let's see. Whoa, boy, I just about knocked my cup over. That would not have been good. Okay. 19 on a 3. Correct? Yes. That is a ground ball double play. 1-4-3. So 2 runs for each team. One could say, well, you probably should have. See, and the thing is that if we would have accepted that, that would have been a ballpark home run check. It's just we already had called those, and once I do that, I really don't want to change it unless we find out that the Havoc die comes into play. So anyway, high T-ball. So we're going to the top of the second. It's 2-2. Trying to motor through this game, so if I don't get a whole lot of chances to check this chat, please please don't take offense. So 111 from Gentry's card. That's grounded to third base. Gentry, this will be his last game as well. He will reach his plate appearance limit. Cliff Pennington, trying to get him in somewhere. 2-5. Strikes out. And Heaney's card, he is left-handed batter. Using pitcher's hitting card number 1, 5-4. That'll be a fly ball to, what was that? 5-4. Fly ball to center field. So that will be McCutcheon, 3E3. Let's double check it here because that is a 14, or no. Is that a 12? Yeah, that's a 12, so we don't have to even worry about that. That is an out, so that'll end the inning. Okay. So it'll be Cervelli leading off for the Pirates here. 1-2-3 inning there for Liriano, and Heaney back out to the mound. 5-10 against a righty, grounder to short X. Getting a lot of grounders here. This is Simmons, 1E14. A 1 and a 1. Guess what? He will actually get to that. The only guy that would be able to get to that one, only a shortstop that's won at least in this game, and E14 and a 15, and he's going to make an error though. Very tough play. E6, so 2 errors so far on the Angels. Brings up Michael Morse. I told you that he will have one where you can see it's been tough to play him because his card really has very little, if any, chances that come up. But against a lefty, you at least have the pitcher's card to go off of. So 6-4 against a righty, and that is a ballpark single chance. Or wait. Let's see what. Yes, that is a ballpark single chance. Sorry. I was getting messed up here. So the ballpark single is 11. And it's a 9. He will get a single, 1 base advance. So the greater than sign is the ballpark single. This little caret ends up being the ballpark effects rule, which is a little different. So, okay. Mercer coming up. Swings away. 2-12. It's grounded to pitcher. Mercer will beat it out. Pitcher throws to second. 1-4. Cervelli moves up as well. But they can't turn 2, so with 1 out, it'll be first and third. Liriano at the plate. He'll swing away here. 2-7. And he strikes out. Could have tried to move the runner along with a bunt, but with a runner at third, it just seems like if you can make contact, you might get the run home. So 2 outs, first and third. 3-11, ballpark single chance, 1 to 11, and that's a 20. That'll be a liner to the shortstop, and we're through 2. Can't quite get her done, Pirates there. So top of the third. And it'll be Simmons leading. Wait, why would it be Simmons? I think I had already turned over the pitcher sitting card, that's why. Okay, so Escobar, top of the order, 2-8 singles to lead off. That brings up Andrelton Simmons. They're going to hit and run here. It'll be an A hit and run situation because the and he is hit by a pitch, and that would be because they're holding the runner on. So let me just double check here. Hit by pitch is no special result. Runner moves to second. So brings up C.J. Cron. Walked and scored in the first. 5-7 against a righty. That'll be a grounder to second. Could be a double play ball depending upon second baseman. Harrison, 2E10. Let's see, righty. So he would be responsible. Makes him 3E10. 3 and a 7, and he is holding the runner on. That will be a single 2-star. Gets through 12 on the E10, no error, but run will score, and it is now a 3-2 lead. Cron with an RBI, and brings up Mike Trout. Runners at first and third. 2-11, and that's a fly ball to left field, B question mark. Okay, so they're definitely going to get into a potential. They're going to send Simmons here for sure. Left fielder is Marte -4. Simmons a 14. You add 2 16, subtract 4 for the arm. So 1-12 chance. Going to throw it home. Try to get him here. Can Simmons score? It is a 13. He is, let's see. That may be a blocking the plate. Let me check. Is that on my, let's see, do I have blocking the plate listed up here on my cheat sheet? Comes up so rarely because you don't have a whole lot of these opportunities. So I guess I'll have to find it here in the book. Runner, okay, catcher blocking the plate. Whenever there's a play at the plate, catcher's defense may be challenged. Rule comes into play when you roll a rolling 20-sided die. The last number in the safe range, first number in the out range. Okay, so that's exactly it. It was a 12, and we got a 13, so that means it's the last number in the range. So we go to the catcher's ability for the Pirates. It's Cervelli. He's a 3. So that means we re-roll this. If it's 1-10, he's safe. If it's 11-20, he's out on the catcher block. And he is safe. So that will be a sac fly by Trout. Run scores, second out of the inning. Actually, never mind. That is the first out. Maybe they didn't need to send him there, but they did anyway, and it worked out. So, let's see. No advancement from Cron on that, but it's now 4-2 Angels. So basically Simmons takes an aggressive line there, aggressive tactic with the catcher Cervelli, and knocks the ball loose. So Calhoun with a runner at first. 2-6. 2-6. That will be another hit. Liriano getting roughed up a bit here tonight. 1-8 double, and it is an 8 on the money. It'll be second and third, and the Pirates are going to have to think about maybe getting somebody up and running here for the bullpen. Liriano is getting tagged here a bit. Bandy for second and third with 1 out. Let's see, the Pirates. What are they going to do here? What do they have available? Schugel pitch 2, Hughes 1, Melanson 1. What do they have for a longer Vogelsong isn't really good. It's going to have to be Caminero. They're going to get him warming up just in case Liriano can't get out of the second and third. One out. Here is Bandy. 1-5, and that is going to be a double to right. Run comes in, and this has been... Actually, 2 runs will come in. Never mind. 2-run double for Bandy. And it is now 6-2. And the bottom of the order coming up here, they're going to let Liriano try and work his way out of this. Runner at second. 1 out. This has been 6 runs over 3 innings, so they're not to the point where he's lost his effectiveness yet, but it's getting close. And only 4 runs in this inning. 1 more run in this inning is a problem. 1-7. That is a grounder to short A, so the runner can't advance. That's 2 outs. Catches a break there, and he's going to go ahead and pitch to Pennington here, knowing that Pennington doesn't match up very well to lefties. So 2 outs, a 2-5, and a strikeout ends the inning. 4 runs on 4 hits. 1 left. But Liriano takes a beating there in that inning. Might need to take a break here at some point in about 15 minutes as I need to get the children to bed. But so bottom of the third, Rodriguez against Heaney. Heaney gets a bit of a cushion here, 4-run lead. 2-9, strikes out. Marte. 3-3, that is going to be a ballpark correction. 1-13 single. Oh, and it's a 9. It almost was 19. So he will reach. And he's going to try to get a lead again here with 1 out. 2 gets the job done. So here we go. It's again the 1-16 chance. And he makes it. Alright, so McCutcheon with Marte at second. 1 out. 2-6, grounder to second base. Going to move the runner up on the C. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Freeze, who grounded into a double play in his first at-bat. 3-4, and he strikes out. So the lefty Heaney giving up a few hits here, but only 2 runs to show for it for the Pirates. High Beatles. So we're trying to move along here, keep this game going. Top of the 4th, 6-2 Angels leading. 5-4, Heaney batting from the left side. Fly ball to center field. That'll be McCutcheon. 3-3. That's a 1. My word. The old D20 has not been kind to the Pirates tonight. He is a 3 and a 1. That's a double. A double for Heaney. How about that? 1 for 2 for the pitcher in his, what may be his only start of the season. Brings up Escobar, and you can tell that Liriano just doesn't have his stuff tonight, but trying to get him through 1 more inning, not have to eat up bullpen. Escobar. Escobar, he's going to lay down a bunt here, try and get Heaney to third base. It'll be a C. They're not expecting it. C9. That may not work out so well for them. Let's see. Let me do this real quick. C9. Well, it's 1 and 2, which means that he fouls off a couple. He's going to go ahead and swing away now. 2 strikes and the pitch. 3-7, and that's a ground ball to shortstop. Won't get the runner over. Can't take it the other way, and that's an unproductive out. 1 down, Simmons. 3-9, and that's a fly ball to left that will be caught by Marte, 2 outs, and it's C.J. Crone. Heaney still at second. Wondering what's he got to do to get another run. 3-2 fly ball to Rodriguez, and he will make the catch, and no runs on a hit. And Angels were sniffing for more there and couldn't get Trout to the plate with the runner in scoring position. So here is Cervelli, bottom of the 4th, and I'm guessing that this will be Liriano's last inning there. 1-11. That'll be a walk against the lefty. So brings up Michael Morse. Not a good bunter. He's going to have to hope off of the right-handed side of Heaney's card. And it's not. It is a 2-9. That'll be a strikeout. Morse is 1 for 2, though, so it'll be Jordy Mercer. 4-4 against a righty grounder to third. Third baseman is Escobar, 4E25. 4-19. This should get them out of the inning, I do believe. That is a G1 and an 11 on an E25 at third base. And that he does make the play. That'll be an around the horn double play. And they'll stick by Liriano here. He's given up 6 runs, but they didn't reach his spot in the order, so if they could get him through 5, that would at least, if he can keep Trout and company off the board here, at least would not dent his ERA quite as badly as it would have otherwise. Hi, Al. 6-2, Angels in the lead, top of the 5th, and here is Mike Trout. 3-7, he draws a walk. Not a good way to start for Liriano. They're getting Caminero back up in the pen. Cole Calhoun. And they're going to hit and run here. A hit and run chance with Trout on. And that's a 3-7 against a righty. That's a ground ball to second base, A+. Or wait. No, because it's off the batter, we check this, and it's an A chance. Batter misses pitch. So, sorry, I just about misplayed that. Getting a little bit of a groove there. So, here we go. Batter misses the pitch. So, what we need to do is see if Trout got a good lead off of that. We re-roll. If he gets a 5 or a 6, then he has a good lead. And it's a 7. So, he does not get a good lead. So, we have to take the steal rating, the 12. Liriano a +2. That'll make him a 14. The catcher, Cervelli, a +1, makes him 15, and then subtract 4. 1-11, and he will take second. It's 14. He gets caught stealing. With a lefty at the plate, we will say a 1-6. So one out, nobody on for Cole Calhoun. We can put away the D20 now. Against the left-hander, 6-6, and more trouble for Liriano. I guess they should have just kept it the way it was. 1-6, 1-5 triple. It's a 6. That'll be a single for Calhoun. And we're edging in on trouble space here for Liriano. They're going to get... They're going to get Neftali Feliz warming up. So, going to let him get warmed up here, take a walk to the mound, stall a bit. So here is Bandy, runner at first, 1 out. 5-6 against a righty, and he's... Let's see, Liriano. This is his weakness inning, and he did not reach the point where he is lost his stuff, or never had his stuff. So that's a strikeout still. So that's 2 outs. They'll give him one more shot, and they'll sit Feliz back down if he can get Gentry out. Gentry not a good hitter against lefties. Not a good hitter, period. 0 for 2. And this is leaning, so we will re-roll that. That's a 3-8. And that's a 2. Balk rating for Liriano is a 0, so we'll re-roll. 1-9, grounder to short, and he will get out of the inning. He'll go 6-4, the short way, fielder's choice. So no runs there, and that'll be the end of Liriano's day. They will set Felice back down. Caminero will come in for 2 innings once they get through their half of the inning. And they will have to get a pinch hitter up against Heaney. Heaney has held his own here. I didn't see what his real-life numbers were as a starter, but they will start with Jason Rogers pinch hitting. So, okay. So Jason Rogers against Heaney, lefty against righty. 6'10" against a right-hander, and he strikes out. So that's it for Rogers. That'll be his appearance. Josh Harrison, 4'9" against a righty, 4'9", and another strikeout. Heaney getting it together here. 2 outs. After the 5th here, I'm going to go put my children to bed. 2-10 against a lefty, and he strikes out the side. Wow. Great inning from Heaney. And that will be it for Liriano, and that will be it for the Pirates in that inning. And it'll be Caminero. I'm going to go ahead and write it down real quick. He was 0-1. Okay, thanks for looking that up. I just don't want to take too much time doing that. So Liriano out. It'll be Caminero. He'll be facing Pennington. So change to the right side here. I'm going to have to remember that. So Pittsburgh. No, he's in the extra pitchers, so he is a 2. 1-11. Liriano goes 5 innings. And I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. And I'll be back in a flash. Alright, so apologies for the delay. That break was sponsored by Serta. For those of you who want your kids to sleep through your ball games, get them the best mattress possible. So here we go. It'll be Caminero coming in to relieve Liriano, who was largely ineffective tonight. One moment, I will tell you what his... Well, I mean, that's kind of par for the course for him. 5.40 so far on the season, ERA, 2-1 record, so not too bad, but that will be a little worse after tonight. So here is Pennington against Caminero, trying to shore things up against the righty. That's a strikeout on the 2-5. One away, pitcher spot. Heaney will... They will let him continue. 6-8, batting from the left side, and it'll be a grounder to second. Heaney already has a hit, but was stranded. So top of the order now, Escobar with 2 outs. 5-8 righty, he'll draw a walk. Escobar not much of a stolen base threat. Here is Andrelton Simmons. 2 outs. And a 6-9 against a righty. And here is some trouble. 1-9 would be a triple. And he did have triples, so we'll stick with... Actually, I think I had said I will... Starting with this series, I'm not worrying about the complete I'm not worrying about it. If someone gets a triple that's not supposed to, we're just going to go with it. It won't make that. One base is not going to be that big of a deal. And so here we go. 1-9 would be a triple and would score Escobar. And it's a 9 on the money. Triple for Simmons. And with 2 outs, Caminero gets high strat Delaware. He adds another run onto the board, or he doesn't, but they add one. And now 7-2, and here is Crone with a runner 90 feet away with 2 outs. 4-11 against a righty, and he will walk, and here comes trouble. Here is Trout. He has not had an at-bat yet. 1 sacrifice fly, 2 walks, and he scored once. So here we go, first and third, 2 away, and that's a 1-7, and that is going to be more trouble for the Pirates. As 1-7 means a 1-9 double, it's a 15, that'll be a single, 2-star. In comes Simmons, to third goes Crone. It's now 8-2, and they're at the point they're just going to let Caminero do his business here. And again, first and third, 2 outs. All this with 2 outs, 2 walks, 2 hits. And there's a 1-11 for Calhoun against a righty, and he will pop out to first to end the inning. 2 runs across. And it's been a dream start for the Pirates this season, but in this particular game, they are finding it's tough sledding. And Heaney looks like he's going to pick up a win, barring a meltdown from his team. So Marte, 2 for 2, and 2 stolen bases against a righty, 6-4. That will be a ballpark single chance. 1-11, and it's a 20. That's about the way it's been going for the Pirates. That'll be a line out to Simmons. McCutchen against a righty, 4-7. That will be a single or possibly a double. 7 is going to keep it a single. Angels will get some activity warming up. They're going to have Javi Guerra getting ready to go. David Freese with McCutchen at first. McCutchen No, they need a batch of runs here. Here's freeze. Stealing isn't going to necessarily be the trick. 4-9 against a righty. Strikes him out. 2 outs. And Cervelli. 6-2. Grounder back to the pitcher. Heaney a 3, E0. 3 and a 12, and I think he will make the play on that. Yes, indeed. That will be the end of the inning. So Heaney with a heck of an outing here for himself. 8-2 still. We're going to the 7th. Caminero will pitch a 2nd inning here. He'll face Bandy. And a 4-10 against a right-hander. Ballpark single. 1-11, and they will get it. Brings up Craig Gentry. They're gonna let him swing away. Actually, he's gonna lay with a 6-run lead, no bunting here. 1-4. That'll be a grounder to short, and that's gonna turn. They're gonna turn 2. It'll be Mercer to Harrison to Morse for the double play, and with 2 outs and nobody on, it'll be Cliff Pennington working on a sombrero there. 4-10, batting from the left side this time. Ballpark single chance, and the 1-11. They've gotten pretty much all of those rolls. Heaney coming up, and they are going to pinch hit for him. Against a righty, they will pinch hit with Rafael Ortega. Let's see, Pennington, does he take many bases? With 6-run lead, let's not mess around too much with that. 3-10, grounder to second, and that will end the inning. So no runs on 2 hits. Let's see, Ortega is going to hit the pine again. Is that Manny? Hey, Manny. All right. Sorry, there's a couple of Stratomatic Delaware I haven't said hi to. I'm sorry. I'm trying to focus in here and get things done. So Heaney is out. And I got to make sure I write this down. Ortega. Pinch hitting. So Heaney will be done. They're going to bring in a... They're going to... I'm trying to get some guys sort of finished out here. And what I mean by that is there's some guys who are low at bat / low innings pitched guys that I would like to try and get used up if possible, and especially in this situation where there's a 6-run lead. I mean, I don't want to do too much to jeopardize the Angels winning the game if possible, but on the other hand, I think try to get some guys. Another thing is that I think Houston Street hit his limit for the season. He was injured for much of the season, so their closer now will be Joe Smith for a while. So what happened there? I'm missing a card. Where did you go? Did I take him out of here somewhere? That's... Oh, it ended up way over here for some reason. There you are, Michael Morse. I'm wondering why... There, alright. Morse leading off. 2-3 against a right-hander, and that'll be a grounder to second base. 1 out. maybe here in the 7th, I should have pinch hit for. No, that's okay. Jordy Mercer, 6-8 against a righty, and that is going to potentially be a problem. Double 1-14, a fly ball B otherwise. And it's a 4. That will be a double. And they will go to a pinch hitter now. Matt Joyce will come in. So the lefty, Matt Joyce, will pinch hit for Caminero. And that reminds me, so the Pirates will get Felice up and warming. Runner at second, 1 out. 1-8 against a righty, and he'll draw a walk. So, good appearance there. Here's Harrison, runners at first and second, 1 away. 4-8 against a righty. Ground ball to third base A. That is going to be around the horn, and that is going to retire the side. And that puts this 7th inning to bed. Guerra gets an inning in there. They're going to go ahead and get Bedrosian warming up to potentially set up. Well, I don't know. They may go a 2nd inning with Guerra. They've got, we'll see. They'll have Bedrosian warming up there. But so they're going to have to set down Caminero. Here is Felice. And Felice. I can't wait till they start printing these numbers on the cards. So Caminero went 2 innings. We're going to go to the 8th. Top of the order for the Angels. It's an 8-2 game. If you're just joining us here, let's see. You have Crone with a couple RBI. You have, he has 1 RBI. You also have an RBI for Trout. You've got 2 of them for Calhoun and 2 of them for Bandy here. And it's Escobar leading off the 8th against Neftali Feliz. 3-6 against a righty. That'll be a fly ball to left that Marte will catch, 1 out. Pittsburgh, as I said a couple times here during the broadcast, Pittsburgh 10-5, way ahead of schedule. So this kind of result wouldn't be a big surprise. Simmons, 2-7. That'll be a grounder to short. Mercer throws to first. That's the 2nd out. C.J. Crone, 1 for 2. 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and an RBI, 2-10, and he will slap a grounder down the third baseline. Freeze will get to it, throw to first, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Felice. And barring a hit-around situation, he will probably show up again in the top of the 9th. So Guerra will stay in. And what do... So they have Jaso, they have Kong, and they have Stewart available. So they have Jaso who could play right. But Rodriguez, not a bad hitter. Probably a little better against lefties, but he'll start the inning against Guerra. Bottom of the 8th, they're trailing by 6. 5-9 against a righty, and he will lead off with some patience and a walk. So Starling Marte. Just a second. I hit something right there, and I'm trying to... I'm going to refresh my chat window there. So, runner at first, Marte... 1-6, and that is going to be a double for Marte. Rodriguez will take third, and they're gonna hold him up there. They need 6 runs, and that is that going to be it? They're going to go ahead and give him one more batter here. McCutcheon Actually, no, they aren't going to give him one more batter. They decided that they're going to pull the plug. He actually would be weak after a walk and a hit. In the previous inning, he had a walk and a hit. So that would make him fatigued. And they're not going to take any chances. They're going to bring in Bedrosian. Guerra goes 1 inning. Cam Bedrosian. He is a 6'8" guy. So, second and third, nobody out. They'd love to at least get those 2 runs home here. 3-6, and that's a ground ball to third base. That will, let's see. Got to check the. We need to check the result chart. They're playing with the infield back. Ground ball A with second and third. 5. If hit to second base or shortstop, batter out, runners advance. Otherwise, runners hold. So that does not get the job done. That grounded to third. 3-6. Grounded to third base A. The runners hold up. And that's a big out. David Freese. Let's see. Are they going to pinch hit here? They're going to save their pinch hitters for a little later. Second and third, 1 out. Here's David Freese. 5-9 against a righty and strikes him out. And it's Francisco Cervelli. That's a 4-7 against a righty and a walk. It's going to load the bases, and this is going to give them a chance. Michael Morse is going to be pinch hit for. They're going to go to power hitting John Jaso with the bases juiced and 2 outs. Lefty against righty. See if Jaso can change this game for the better for the Pirates. So here you go, bases loaded, 2 outs. Here is Jaso and the pitch. And that's a 6-12 against a lefty, and that's a strikeout. Ends the inning. So Pirates look like they've got a good shot there to maybe get back in this game, and Jaso will stay at first. And let's see, Felice they didn't pinch hit for him, so he will pitch a second inning here, and they'll get Tony Watson warming up just in case they need some kind of a effort to finish out the inning here. Top of the 9th, 8-2. And Mike Trout at 1-4. That ball is out of here. Home run. Mike Trout, 9-2. And the fans that were left just decided to make their way home. 2 for 2 now for Trout. Couple RBIs now. Solo shot. Cole Calhoun. 4-9 against a lefty. And a ballpark home run chance, 1-9. Will it be back-to-back jacks? No, it will not. That will be a fly ball to deep right, and it will be caught. So, 1 down. Felice starting to struggle a bit. Bandy, 6-9 against a righty, and he will strike out. So 2 down. And Craig Gentry. And there is a 6-2, which will mean he nubs it on the ground towards the shortstop, and Mercer throws to first. 1 run in the inning, and Watson will take a seat, kick back, grab a beer, grab some sunflower seeds, and Bedrosian will take it from here. Mercer leads off, 3-7, and he will draw a walk. Not a way to start there for Bedrosian. Angels will have Jose Alvarez warm up. They're gonna have Kong come in to pinch hit for Feliz. Runner at first. They're gonna let Mercer take second base without a fight. 1 on the D20. We have to check for a wild pitch. 1-17 would mean the runner goes to third, and that is the case. So Kong's still up. That's leaning. 5-10. 5-10 against a righty. It's a strikeout. Matt Joyce. Last 2 chances here for... Actually, it's not Matt Joyce. He was a pinch hitter. Forgot to take him out of the hopper. Here's Harrison. 5-7 against a righty. Another strikeout. 2 down. And it'll be Sean Rodriguez to try and keep this game alive. 1-4. And he strikes out. The ball game is over. Aside from the walk, Bedrosian strikes out the side here, and that is your ball game. Final score: Angels take it 9-2. First game of the series. Victory goes to Andrew Heaney. The loss to Francisco Liriano, and got a couple of players of the game potentially. I think we will go ahead and give it to Cole Calhoun, 3 for 5, excuse me, a double, 2 runs batted in, and a run scored. You could make the case for Mike Trout possibly, or possibly Jet Bandy, 2 for 5, but Trout was 2 for 2, 2 runs batted in, excuse me on that. Let me see here. Actually, I'm wrong. 3. So maybe you could give it to Trout, because he singled home Simmons there. Anyway, that takes the Angels to 6-10. They are easing their way up the standings a bit. Pirates are in a bit of a free fall at the moment. I think this is their 3rd loss in a row. But we're 16 games into a 54-game schedule, so there's still a lot of baseball to be played here in the TBL. So, real quick check of the comments here. No problem, Beatles. No problem, Derek. Dodger Royals fan. T-Ball. Thank you. Thank you, Chris at Stratomatic, Delaware. Ken. Awesome to see you. Manny, awesome to see you. Let's see anybody else floating around here in the comments that I didn't see. Al, I think I mentioned Al, but Al, if you're still around, thank you. Mr. Utah Mike. Mr. Utah Mike with the Red Sox deflated baseballs. Yeah, not quite that, but still, they've got a little bit of the egg on the face today, unfortunately for them. Don't really have much against the Red Sox, but it definitely, you have to think that the powers that be in baseball might decide to, do something like they did with the Cardinals for hacking into, because I think you could argue that they were getting a definite advantage in some of those games. So they've played well this season. It's tough to know how much you could account for that based on some stolen signals. I mean, it's not really Deflategate that reminds you of. It kind of reminds you more of Spygate, but you know, no offense there, Al. I'm not trying to start any funny business or make anybody angry or anything, so please don't take it that way. But you know, it's kind of the thing that gives them. It's just, I'm just saying it's reminiscent of that kind of a situation more than the Deflategate stuff. But you know, like I said, I feel like it's the type of thing that I think baseball might have to make an example out of, you know, and not to be mean about it, but I think you really, you know, this is maybe it's not so much the stealing of the reports, scouting reports, but you know, it's kind of like on the level of a, you know, spitballs or things like that, where you're clearly trying to you know, work the system in your advantage. I think this is the type of things that many teams could potentially, maybe many of them are already using it. So if that's the case and baseball's aware of it, I think they should do something about it. Yeah, Chris at Stratomatic, Delaware, he works for an auto parts store. He's got plenty of that Fix-A-Flat, you know. Yeah, you can air compressors, you know, if maybe you need a whole new tire. Hi, Iron Gamer, you're a little late to the game here, but that's okay. Once this uploads, if you want to watch, you can watch it from the beginning. I won't tell you what the final score was, just so that way we don't, I mean, I guess you could always look at the comments if you are looking to spoil it for yourself, but I won't do that right now. But we're just discussing real quick this this scandal, if you will, where the Red Sox have admitted to stealing, oh, you already know, have admitted to stealing signals, and I think part of it for them, maybe where they're taking some lessons from the Patriots' latest scandal, if you want to look at Deflategate at all, is to say that they're at least being upfront and admitting it instead of going and destroying phones and all that stuff, which I think brought more ill repute on Tom Brady than if he just would have been like, yeah, prove that it actually does anything to help us. And I think it would be difficult to necessarily do that concretely. But, you know, I think that it's something that you've really, if you want, I mean, it's one thing to have a guy standing between second and third base and looking in, and, you know, so then you've got the catcher and the pitcher having to, you know, work through a series of signs and knowing which sign is actually correct. I mean, what it may end up eventually coming to, I don't know how feasible it is with the motion of the pitcher, you know, would be an earpiece, potentially, where the pitching coach could directly contact the pitcher and the catcher, you know, without you know, without needing a signaling. Why baseball? You know, there are certain things that with baseball that you wonder at times. For instance, the strike zone, you could probably, I mean, they already have technology to concretely show you which pitches are borderline strikes, and you could probably dial that in and do a pretty good job of calling balls and strikes with a computer. This could be the same type of thing where you could use technology to potentially prevent problematic things, namely, so in the case of a strike zone, you would prevent umpire error. In the case of this, you would prevent the ability for the other team, unless they hacked the signal, which they could do, but would prevent them from stealing signals. So I think there's ways you could do that. Beatles says, as I think is definitely the case, and that would be the reason why you would stick with umpires calling balls and strikes, is that it's tradition, it's always been done. You know, I think savvy pitchers and catchers will figure out how to get around that. So good night, Mark. Not intending to make anybody unhappy. I'm not really trying to say that the Red Sox are out and out. Like I as much as I would probably like to think about the Patriots as quote unquote cheaters, I think it's pretty tough to argue that they aren't a very good team. I think you have to argue that they are a very good team. Tom Brady is a very good quarterback, if not the best, but one of the top 5 quarterbacks of all time. And you know, the fact that they use these advantages, you know, it doesn't look good for them. But I guess if you're not trying to use things to your advantage, then you're probably going to start losing. So I don't know. I guess I'm of the thought that as long as it's a certain, ask Atlanta. I don't know which Atlanta you mean. Oh, I guess you mean the Falcons. I was thinking you meant the Braves. I mean, they got plenty of help back in the 90s, but and early 2000s, I would say. Mostly the 90s. Didn't really show up much in the World Series, but in any regard, you can't argue that. What I will say about the Patriots, I think that they had a stretch where they were extremely dominant. I think they've also had a stretch at the beginning and the end of this dynasty where they've made their breaks, but they've gotten breaks, you know. You have to go out there and you have to challenge the other team. If that's one thing the Falcons didn't do, and maybe they didn't have the stamina to do that, to challenge the Patriots. But the Patriots, they were down, they fought, and that's another thing. The Tuck rule, I mean, that was a beneficial thing, but I don't know. I think one could argue, and again, not to go too far. I don't want to talk too long here. I don't want to make this. I don't want to belabor any points, but I do think that you could argue the NFL is currently run by essentially 2 owners, and the rest just kind of like follow suit. And those 2 owners are Jerry and Robert, and basically that's it. Those guys, if they want it, they get it. If they don't want it, now it hasn't always shown up for Jerry on the field, but him and Kraft, I think, were in the driver's seat when it came to all of the moves that happened to L.A. They sucked a bunch of money out of Kroenke, and I'm sure they're sucking a bunch of money out of Spanos with the Chargers. So. And not to mention this Las Vegas move. That's kind of a shame. I don't see what good that does. I guess it gives opposing fans an opportunity to go to what is a quote-unquote cool destination. If you want to go see your team play the Raiders in Las Vegas, you can go put down some money on your team and then go watch them win and then go collect your money. Of course, if you're a player, you could go put money on your team, go help them win, then go collect your money. Or go put money on the other team, go suck, lose, and then go collect your money. But you could do that anywhere, really. So it's not exclusive anymore to just Las Vegas. You could do that online. So in any event, that's about it. It sounds a little weird, but it's I think there's just a lot of things you could say. But as far as I just think you have to, if you're MLB with the Red Sox and the stealing signals, I think you just need to lay down the law. If you have to it's tough because it doesn't involve a specific player. So, you know, I guess that's where I think maybe you need to go. I mean, you could go the extreme route would be forfeits, but I don't think you want to do that. The NFL could have done that with Deflategate, and they chose not to, probably for a good reason. You would dock draft picks, I guess, is the way you would do it. Or the other thing you could do is take a page out of international soccer and basically put a moratorium on free agent spending, which would really hurt that would hurt the Red Sox most, because they have the money to do it. If you were to say, okay, well, this offseason you can't go and get any free agents, and make it last a year, and then you would really be hurting the team. I mean, granted, they're stock to begin with, but they're one team that can splash the cash and go, you know, lure a guy up there to Boston pretty easily. Not to mention their reputation as a franchise itself. So, you know, maybe you could do that. But it's probably going to be draft picks, I'm guessing. You just say you're going to lose your first round and second round draft picks in the 2018 entry draft. And really, that's a maudlin penalty, really, in baseball, because it takes so long to develop players at that level. And especially with a team that's in the playoffs, going to be in the playoffs this year, you're basically taking low round picks. So yeah, and Ken is talking about Kraft, and the other thing about Kraft is I have experience watching him in not only football but in soccer, and I mean he is just he is a money guy. He got very fortunate that Brady turned into what he turned into. Again, I don't know whether the system that they had for spying on the opponent helped develop Brady. I kind of feel that way. But Brady has taken that, and, you know, you still got to be able to make throws. But I really think, Patriots fans are, you know, right now they're saying, you know, hey, let's look at Jimmy. You know, let's look at Jimmy for after Brady retires. I don't know. I think Belichick will go too. All right, so football talk might as well be Mandarin for Beatles. That's okay. I'm going to sign off too. That's been going on here too long. But we'll see what happens with this Red Sox. Maybe they'll get a slap on the wrist. And don't ever do it again. But anyway, good night all. Thanks for watching. Great game here. Well, good game. It wasn't too tight. But you can't have them all be one-run games. So thanks a lot. Good night. God bless. And strat on, everybody.